Okay. Go ahead.
Miss Schwartz, take one.
Action. Thank you, Shiloh. You do a very good job with that, so thank you.
I want to do
Important
the
to
action.
know we start off the right way. Next time.
Yeah.
Next time you can do the action. Okay, Jordan?
How are you?
Okay. So, hi, Miss Annie.
Can I just touch Jordan?
Oh, absolutely.
Press this good.
Okay, I have a page to Mr. Schwartz and he can sign it for, I don't know if you signed it ready to.
So, well, we're doing writing right now, so I'll sign up for that. And Jordan's been great in his new class. It's really nice. Yeah.
I feel good about that.
So, yeah, I'm very glad. So, I know, oh my goodness. It's okay. We'll do it all right. Hi, Shiloh.
I thought you were going to do reading.
No, so I couldn't figure out for reading because I had a meeting earlier. So, yeah, I was meeting with her. So, sorry we didn't do reading. So, what are you doing? Okay. Alright. Okay, we're getting started with writing now. I'm sorry we're not doing reading, Shiloh. And I really appreciate your vision of doing writing. Good. Good. Okay, you guys. So thank you for saying that. Jasmine. Fantastic. I'm glad. So, right now, we're going to focus. Yeah, you know, don't worry about the camera. So, I appreciate that, though. It's all about me. But it's not on you all, so don't worry about that. And I'm so excited that you're glad about that. Yes, we are working on writing. So, we're going to write our stories. So, just a quick review. Who remembers what a narrative story is? Shiloh, what is a narrative story? What is a narrative story?
And then a beginning, middle, and end. We're going to write about
Very good. That's wonderful because you're describing what's different than an informative text. You have the beginning, middle, and end. Oh, good. Very good. So, in your general ed class, I'm really glad to hear that you're on time. So, you are pro. So, thank you. Yes, Jasmine, thank you. So, what can you add?
A narrator is that
Narrative.
Narrative is I forgot.
Oh, I kept you waiting too long this time.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's think about
I'll give you a hint. It's right over there. We're going to stand before it. I'm dropping everything. Yes, definitely. Go back before. It's a story. Thank you. So, Chi, do you remember, is a narrative, is it real or can it be fiction? Say it again, I can't hear you with your hands. Both. It could be both. Thank you very much, Chi.
It could be
So, as Chi said, it could be both. So, hold on, Jasmine, one moment. So, how can it be both, Jasmine? Do you remember? I'm glad that she's
informative text.
Right. So, how can it, so if an informative text is non-fiction, so this is true, and a narrative story is mostly fiction, how can you have both? Hold on, Kevin, do you know how we can do both? Thank you, Jasmine.
Then if it's real, but they're talking.
Right. So that's very good. So they can be real and they can be talking. So we can have fictional characters mixed in with real stuff, or we can have real things. We can make them called animated, like they're real animal, like they can talk. So that's fun. Like, just like we'll say, like my daughter loves Olaf the snowman, and so we can make snowmen. They're real, but he's animated. He's moving, he's talking, he's walking. So that makes him fiction. If a poster can talk,
you could put that on your. If you make a story, you could put that poster talking.
That's true. You actually you
could put
that
eyes
would be
and mouth, and that's all.
Yeah, and you can talk to it. My daughter likes to talk to a Kermit the Frog poster.
No, you have to wait for it, and then it'll come true.
Yes, exactly. So, if we can talk one at a time, that would be wonderful. And so, yes, we're going to start, but wait. So, everyone is working at different paces right now. Different, yeah, different places. So, this one is Chi's, wait, this is Chi's book. Aha. Okay. So Kevin, can you open up your, let me see where you left off. Everybody is at different places right now. Some people are quicker than others. Excellent. So if we pull out, can I see your Kevin?
I'm done my whole thing.
Okay. So we're going to put this one aside. I'm kind of shifting a little bit. Oh, you weren't here the other day, so that's why you didn't have one of these.
You can use mine.
Okay. No. We're going to work with everyone's. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn to each other. We're going to talk about our stories before we're actually going to write anymore. So, because it's important to reflect. When I talk about things, I always think of new things that I want to be able to talk about. So, yeah, it's kind of cool, because then I think of, oh yeah, I should put this person in there, I should make them do this, I can have this storyline, people can give me ideas too. Yes, G?
You're not listening.
Please lift your head. You have good things to say. Oh, I thought you did. Okay. So, G, I want to work directly with you, okay? I want to bring you back into this. Okay. So, what we are going to do, does everyone have a story map except for Kevin? Yes, Shyla, your hand was raised. I apologize.
If we go turn and talk about our story, how come I don't find people with those two? That is the part.
Oh my goodness. So, happily I'll work with Chi, and then Jordan, you can work with Kevin. Is that cool? So you two can talk, I'll work with Chi, and you two can work together. How's that sound? And thank you for pointing out the fact that we have an odd number of people, because that could get complicated sometimes. But I'm really glad.
You guys are friends.
Okay, so yeah, it's good to have friends. Is everyone's hands? Am I seeing hands raised, or are you all switching?
No, I'm
Kevin, with your hand raised.
my hair because
Okay, thank you. Yes, you can run this back.
Maybe Kevin,
Please don't knock over my camera.
and Mr. Schwartz, you can see the partners.
Yeah. So, okay. So, did you have one of these?
I'm already done.
Okay, good.
The baby
That is good.
that cried.
So, to review, we have who or what is the first part. So this is your main character or characters. What's going on? Where and when is it happening? And then, what's the problem? So I always like to think of the Scooby-Doo analogy. What is this guy trying to
You
do?
like
with
Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, because
I love it.
he's the
Smartest
big
dog.
wise man. Yeah, he's the wise dog, the wise canine. And how will the story end? So we have a beginning, middle, and end.
Mr. Schwartz.
So yes. Yes.
There's a new Scooby-Doo that it's for aliens, and they're the only two that has to save the world.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
So-
Shaggy.
Wait a
No,
minute.
it's with Shaggy and Scooby. Only Shaggy and Scooby.
Oh wow, that's good to know.
Two people.
Thank you. So I'm interested to hear how it turns out. But for right now, let's write about our stories. If you want to put Scooby in there, if you're just going to pop up out of nowhere, that'd be kind of cool. But you know, I don't want to influence your story at all.
And kind of like at the end, you could just make him pop up and
Yeah.
put the picture of
And then the bad guy will say, I would have done it if it wasn't for that dog in his
I
rascal
wish
kid.
Scooby was
So,
real.
alright, so maybe he is. I don't know. My dog's cool like that. Okay, so let's get to work. So Kevin's back. Chi, can you I know you got the rocking chair, but can you two, or Chi, can you just sit in this chair? And then Jordan, you can scooch. Did you have a question, Chi?
No.
You're just stretching your Okay. You're
Okay,
stretching with one arm.
let's
So, I want you two, we're going to spend about 5 minutes just talking it over. Please talk softly so that we can all hear each other. Kevin, did you get one of these guys? Is that for you? Okay. So you're going to write out your character. So who or what. This is your characters. So what's going on?
Or did I do cursive?
And then where is it happening? And when? Is it recent? Is it at recess? On the playground? Or is it dinosaur times? Whatever you want it to be. And then what's the problem? So what's really going on? And how is it solved? How does it end? Okay, you can just bring all the tissues over here, G. Does that make sense, Kevin? Yeah, good. Alright. So let me know if you all have any questions, but I want you to talk amongst each other. Jordan, if you can scoot down, scoot your little rocker down a little bit. That would be really helpful. Excellent. And you know what? We're going to do a little Gojo.
My baby mom.
Are you
I love those toys.
You don't need to right here on something.
You are doing great. You're on task.
We can start shopping. Shopping. Cars are eat my family.
Alright.
I get rent. Then
So you two mingle amongst each other. So I want you two to talk about your story. So Jordan, talk to Kevin about your story.
Baby.
Turn to Kevin, talk to him. Kevin, tell Jordan your ideas, so things that you've written out so far. or where you're going to write about. Understand?
Okay.
So, talk.
Why
Why don't you talk? Yeah, sure. Thank you. Good job.
I forgot the snowman.
You're okay.
Because
Come in here and you kind of shut down.
it's like
Are you okay?
non-fiction. Emotion.
You're hot?
Because I think snowman are trying to ruin the
Are you
snow.
sleeping okay?
Your turn. What do you read about?
You seem like enthusiastic, and then you get in this room. When you're walking, you seem good, and then you get in this room.
The baby
Put your head
stopped
down.
crying.
You're okay though?
Not G.
You can tell me. Do you need to go to the nurse? Is it like a fever kind of hot?
I had a fever, but it went away.
Hey, please, I'm talking to T, my friend, okay? So, are you two talking to each other?
Yeah, we're done. Okay, I'm gonna do it again.
You don't know what you're going to do? You don't have to type the surface down. Yeah, did Jordan tell you what he was writing about?
Yeah.
Jordan? Yes.
I felt sick at my house, now I feel better.
You feeling better?
Because I needed air.
Right. So that's good.
It's not breathing.
It's good to get air, especially when it's rainy, because you just kind of hurry from time to time. This room is very stuffy. I apologize. How are you two doing here?
Good, Dad. We were just doing a contest about who lasted out. I just did a silly thing.
Okay.
After we're done,
So,
we're done.
okay. So what I want you to do is to pull out your book, and we're not going to write complete sentences yet, but I want you to write this in order of how you think things are going to go in your story.
Okay.
So I want you to think about how is it going to begin. So Charlotte, do you have one of those guys too? Did you start on that? Good. So I want you to write it out in your book, okay? In your book. Okay, so finish that, and then we're going to write it out in your book, but we're not going to write complete sentences yet. Just kind of write out the order of things, okay? Yes, Gordon.
You should have got to that. We should have got to that big paper what the 5th grade do. Like they write on the paper like big sentences, a lot of sentences, and they do another page.
Yes.
That they draw their picture.
We're going to draw a picture. We're going to make this little book eventually. However, we have to learn how to walk before we can run, right? So before we write lots and lots of sentences, let's just do one at a time. Okay? Does that make sense to you, Jordan? So we're just going to do a little bit at a time. We're going to work our way up. But that's exactly what we're looking for.
This is Christmas.
So,
Christmas.
Is it Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, where's my present?
No,
I'm just kidding.
it's fine.
Okay. Okay. So I want you two to talk. I want you to help Kevin think of the story, okay? So, you know what? Don't even worry about spelling right now. So I just want to see stuff on paper. So write it so that you can remember what it is. Okay? So you want me to write it out? The word self? Okay. But I don't want to spend... Can you hand me the green? Actually, the black markers.
Mr. Schwartz, my pencil is short.
Thank you, Chief. So, good. Do not poke yourself in the eye. So,
Like this? Ow.
okay. Self. Okay. Jordan, I want you two to really... I want you to help Kevin, okay? What are you going to do, Jordan? Yeah, you're a good helper. You're a very good helper. So, you're good helping people. Come on, Jordan. Help him out, please, because I need to work with you, okay? So, thank you, Jordan. You're doing a good job. Okay. So, Chief.
So you can write about you can probably write about you and your little brother. Someone else. Draw you,
So, you got spinous
or you can
words.
draw a story about
They're going to fight, right?